Oh, my only crime was being happy. That's all I did. I hate you.
Holy shit, Danny.
Hello, and welcome to the Gym Pack Zone as I, James Gisanti, am accompanied by Big Bad himself, my man Chad. We are here tonight to celebrate Impact 1000, baby. The little company that could, never thought we'd make it this far. In fact, a lot of people didn't think we'd make it to Impact 100, which is kind of crazy because back then we were TNA 100. This is a company... This is a company that has seen lots of ups, lots of downs. It started as a weekly pay-per-view company that to watch the show, you'd have to pay every week for the new pay-per-view. Craziness until that eventually turned into the TNA TV show. We went through a big old journey there. And then we finally got to Impact, where we have what is, in my opinion, the most consistent product in the wrestling market today. Now, Chad, I know you're not as consistent with Impact as I am, but you've been on this journey with me for a while. You've seen some of the highs, you've seen some of the lows, you know the talent, you know the stars, you know the history. What do you think of this? Do you feel how special this is? And what did you think of tonight's episode before we get into all the nitty-gritty?
Okay, so... I hate to say it, of course, but I did think this episode was mid, only because I know what they're capable of, and I know what can be done. So I was expecting a little more, especially when you hear 1,000. I got to be honest. It is what it is. But with that as well, there was some really good things. There was some really high highs for me that we'll go through once we get through the rest of the episode. And then there were just a few lows, just a few mans that I could do without, but nothing like to make me say, I don't want to watch it again. It's just, I'm actually more excited for next week than I was for today. So I'm going to have to DVR it, or either I'm going to have to come back and join you in the Gym Pack Zone.
I will never say no to you joining me, my friend. But as somebody who was actually at the Impact 1000 tapings in White Plains, New York, I got to say, I understand why you're excited for next week's episode. Because having been there, they saved a lot of the best stuff that we got to enjoy at the show for next week. I don't know why they necessarily did that. I would have definitely put the Ultimate X match for tonight. Maybe leave Feast or Fired for next week. But I understand wanting to spread the love. A lot to look forward to with all the knockouts. That 10-woman tag match, that 10 knockout tag match is going to be great next week. Ultimate X going to be great. And I'm excited because they didn't tell us at the show. I have no idea who has what with the Feast or Fired briefcases. So next week is going to be a really big deal. And I'm really excited to watch it. And hopefully, I have you with me.
I hope so. We're going to talk about how criminal that match was, by the way.
Which one?
What is it? The Feast or
Fired? By the way, we'll get to that in a second. Nas, what's up, buddy? Always a pleasure to have you.
What's up?
I got it. And I got to tell you, we have never had a celebrity in the comments before, but to have Sharia here joining us tonight, I am very honored. Thank you, my friend. It's a pleasure. It's an honor to have you here. Thank you so much. You never know who's going to show up in the Gym Pack Zone. Am I right, Chad?
Never.
So let's start with the top of the show. We'll work our way to the main event as we get there. We are greeted by Impact President, former Team Canada mascot himself, Scott D'Amore, as he brings us up to date on Impact history, thanking us for getting him here because, quite frankly, this company is living and breathing on the dedicated fan base that is inhabiting the Impact Zone on a weekly basis. He talked about all the highs. He talked about some of the lows before introducing knockout extraordinaire, the legend, the icon, Gail Kim. I don't care how many times Gail shows up in the Impact Zone. I don't care how many times, how used to it I am. I will never not pop for Gail. That woman is women's wrestling personified as far as I'm concerned.
Listen, the culture fucks with Gail. We we absolutely we rock with Gail. Gail is the one. She was like the one for a long time too.
But you know what? I got to challenge you on that because while she was amazing, let me tell you, you'll see next week. She's not the one. She's one of a generation. And we heard that.
Come on. Nice segue.
As Gail Kim is interrupted by a blast from the past, or should I say two blasts from the past, the beautiful people, Angelina Love and Velvet Sky. They come out and they say, after watching what was a beautiful tribute package to the Knockouts, they really highlighted Impact's past and present with these women. The beautiful people said, they had some complaints.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't seen him in a while, but you always got to appreciate Dragoon joining us here at the Mark It Down podcast. Thank you for being here, buddy.
What is he saying? What are you saying, Dragoon?
That I speak internet, and he's having what we like to call a malfunction.
Okay.
He's here. He's here in spirit. He's here in mind. He just doesn't have the dexterity to get there. But I read him and I appreciate him greatly. But after watching that hype video for the Knockouts past and present, the beautiful people said there was a problem. There were just a couple too many uggos. Their words, not mine. Their words, not mine. There were a couple of uggos there. And there were some bright spots to that package, but really, it was whenever the beautiful people were on. Yes. I'm not going to agree. I'm not going to disagree. Was I happy to see the beautiful people? Yes, I was. Yes, I was. Was I happy to see everybody else? Also, yes. I'm very easy to please. So I like to like things, Chad.
That's fine.
Right?
That's what we love about you.
Thank you. And I love you too. I love you all. Thank you for being here. But as the beautiful people are getting in Gail Kim's face, they are joined by the quintessential diva herself, Giselle Shaw, accompanied by the Shantaraj. I still love
that. What they're called?
Yeah, of course, that's what they're called. What else could they be called?
That works. That works. I like it. I'm cool with it.
She is a star waiting for a championship. Give it time.
Absolutely.
But as Giselle makes her way down to the ring and grabs a mic, she thanks the beautiful people. She thanks them for paving the way for people like her, because as she put it, without the beautiful people, there would be no Giselle Shaw. And thankfully, according to her, again, her words, guys, not me, she took their spot and improved upon it, and very eloquently spelled out the word improved. Very proud of her. That was a tough word. That's a $5 word right there for her.
And then gave us the fucking Merriam, the Merriam-Webster
dictionary definition. Yeah, she is an all-around talent that we can rely on. Whether it's to please in the ring, please on the mic, or help educate the masses. I'm very grateful for her. But as she's starting to run down the beautiful people a little bit, just a little bit, we're joined by even more talent. And we get Jordynne Grace, who made her return last week at the pay-per-view at Victory Road. So Jordynne Grace, who's been gone from TV for a little while, making sure that her presence is felt and speaking about the generations of talent, how we have the greats. She mentioned people like ODB, Awesome Kong, Tracy Brooks, everybody. And then there is, I don't like this word. I don't use this word to describe women, but the vapid bitches. Again, guys, not me. I'm an ally. I love you guys. I love women. I don't care what the banner says. I'll put it up for Danny because he's not here, but it's not true. I actually love women. Don't read it, but we have running gags here. We got to run with it sometimes. As she starts talking about vapid bitches, someone I would never describe as either of those words comes out. Deonna Purrazzo, former Impact Knockout World Champion Deonna Purrazzo, comes out and she's beefing with Jordynne Grace. So, of course, she's going to come out and beef with them a little bit more. Deonna has her say. And then who comes out? Impact Knockout World Champion herself, Trinity.
Come on,
Trinity. Everybody's got sides here. Everybody's got beef with somebody. I don't know where the love is, but it was not in that ring. Trinity makes way for Awesome Kong. Awesome Kong, a legend, no matter how you think about her, no matter what company she was in, no matter what you think of her contributions to professional wrestling. Oh, I got to hand it to Papa G right there. Had a great time with you last Saturday night at White Plains watching the Dudley Boys, Rhino, and Tommy Dreamer. Dad, always enjoy having you drop in at the Gym Pack Zone. There wouldn't be a Gym Pack Zone without you, big guy. So I love you. Thank you for taking me to the show last week.
Salute.
As Awesome Kong is making her presence known, we have another little bit of a return. Someone I love and doesn't get nearly enough love, in my opinion. Tasha Steelz, the Boricua herself. She went on about Flavor. She went on about Generations. There was a whole lot, and I could never do it any justice. So go watch the promo after you leave the Gym Pack Zone. And as they're setting up, we have 5v4. We need one last woman for the babyface team. We get her, Hardcore Country herself, Mickie James.
Come on.
Mickie James, who we haven't seen in 6 months in the Impact Zone after she had to relinquish the title for due to a broken rib. Sean, thank you for joining me, buddy. You know, I always appreciate it. Always appreciate you guys supporting me here at the Gym Pack Zone. And I promise when the time comes for us to face each other in fantasy, I won't obliterate you. That's the best I can offer. I'm not going to lay down for you, but I'll give you like 85% strength.
Aren't you delightful?
Right? I'm a doll. I'm a doll. But all 10 women in the ring getting ready. We have Team Beautiful People versus, as Mickie James called them, Team Over. That got a surprising chant from the crowd at the Impact Zone. Those women were over, and it was fun. That will be next week. It was great to see so much talent in the ring, both past and present. And I can tell you guys, next week you're in for a treat with that match.
Yeah.
We then move to a back. Oh, before I get into it, what did you think of all these women? Was there anyone you were super happy to see? Was there anyone that you were surprised to see? Anyone you wish was there that wasn't?
So I think you know the answer to this, but I'll say it anyway. You know why I'm here. I'm a Mickie James stan. I absolutely wanted to see Mickie James. I didn't know she was healthy. I was still under the I still thought she was injured or whatever. So to know that she's back, Hardcore Country, rock out. I'm fucking excited. This is my first time actually seeing Trinity. I guess not in action, but you know, just talking and seeing her in this bubble of Impact, and she looks great. She looks happy. She looks free. So that was good. I'm not the biggest Tasha Steelz fan.
Okay.
But I can see the appeal. I get it. I know she does have flavor, as she says. I understand what's going on with that. The quintessential diva is always super dope. The promo was spot on for that. The beautiful ones. Okay, before Velvet Sky is someone's ex-fiance or something.
She has dated 2 former Impact stars. She is, I believe, Chris Sabin's ex-fiance and Bully Ray's ex-girlfriend.
Him. Okay. I wasn't sure. I always get her confused with Matt Hardy's wife. I don't know why.
Wow.
Are they both Skies?
She was Rebby.
Okay.
You are right. She was Rebby Sky back in the day before she was Rebby Hardy.
Rebby Sky and Velvet Sky, for some reason, I don't know the difference. I do not think all white people are the same. Sorry, guys.
The best part is Rebby is Puerto Rican. She's very Puerto Rican.
Okay.
Really, the basis for this confusion. I thought you were going to be like, not all Skies are the same. No, it's just not all white people are the same.
Oops. But I don't know. It might just be the name thing. I always get them confused. I haven't seen Angelina in forever. Is she just like coming back for this?
This was her first appearance on TV, and I would say years.
Okay,
both beautiful people, actually.
Okay, yeah. I was about to say I don't think I've seen her in a while. So that was refreshing. I'm always gonna pop for Gail Kim, like you said. I'm always gonna pop for Awesome Kong. I don't know how anybody else feels, but whether she's Karma or Kong, I'm always gonna pop for her. I don't know what it is. I'm sorry. Like I just loved it. It was good seeing Jordan Grace. I haven't seen her since she was champion. I think
Yeah.
that's the last time I watched. It's always great to see Deanna. So I think it's safe to say I like pretty much everybody in this matchup. So I'm super excited for next week.
I'm going to say something super controversial. And by that, I totally know I'm lying. Impact has and will always have the best women's division in professional wrestling. They have put time, they have put equity, and they have put effort into keeping that division going and to keeping that division strong. We saw it in one segment, including 11 women, including 12 women, if you include Savannah Evans, and if you include cheerleader Melissa. I won't say who that was. But with all of those women, you have 12 women, yeah. You have so many different gimmicks, so many different appeals. You have pure work rate workhorses like Gail Kim, like Mickey James. You have people who pushed the sex appeal, who pushed the diva aspect with the beautiful people. You have big muscle mamas like Jordan Grace. You have all around excellent talents like Deonna Purrazzo. All of these women offer different things to professional wrestling, and all of them were successful with it. I know with AEW, you know, it's all work rate, and sometimes they stumble with how they treat the women. For a long time with WWE, it was all about the looks, and it wasn't about the work rate. And finally, we're at a point with the work rate, but almost at the exclusion of the fact that these are women who aren't just, I'm happy to be a wrestler.
Right.
So Impact has always thrived when it came to the women, and I'm super happy that all of their rich history was on, had a spotlight shown on them tonight. So very grateful for how this segment went off. And while there was definitely talent I wish was there, like I will always pop for ODB. I wish ODB was there, but you know what?
That would have been
save
cool.
it for another week. Save it for Impact 1500.
That would have been cool.
Very much looking forward to next week, but we got to move on. We spent a lot of time on this segment, but for each of these women, they deserve the time. We then go to a backstage segment where we have Eric Young, poster boy for Team Canada, mixing it up with his old rivals from America's Most Wanted, Chris Harris and James Storm. Love seeing these Impact legends sharing a beer, and they're interrupted by some broken glass. Give me a shell, yeah. It was Shark Boy, guys. Shark Boy. Now, Chad, tell me right now, are you familiar with Shark Boy?
I am vaguely familiar with Shark Boy.
I'll give you the briefest of rundowns because his resume should speak for itself. Shark Boy was a gimmick shark. He was a shark. He is a shark. There is nothing to him but being a shark. But somewhere along the way, he bonked his head. And he developed a Steve Austin gimmick. All the Stone Cold mannerisms, all the Stone Cold catchphrases he incorporated. Instead of 316, we had 24/7. Instead of give me a hell yeah, it was give me a shell yeah.
I like it.
I died when we see him walking over broken glass. It took me a minute to realize that was an Austin reference, but it was beautiful. It speaks more to how tired I am in general. But great segment, and they're joined by Santino Marella, the DOA himself, and he deputizes Shark Boy, saying he's going to need some help in the next couple of weeks. And Shark Boy gives him a shell yeah, and they get ready for some action a little bit later. But we have our first match of the night. I'm not going to dwell too much on that. We spent a lot of time with the women. Our first match of the night, we had Feast or Fired. Now, guys, Feast or Fired, depending on who you ask, is either the best or the worst idea Impact has ever had. Do you know the rules of Feast or Fired, Chad?
Yes, I am aware.
So I'm going to share it with the crowd. You get a gold star for knowing it already. But Feast or Fired includes 4 briefcases. One briefcase allows you to cash in on a world championship title match. Second briefcase cashes in on a mid-card championship match. Did they say what this one was for? It's for the digital media championship?
I believe so.
I believe so too.
I think that's what I heard.
One briefcase is for a tag team title shot. And one briefcase, if you're the unfortunate fellow who grabs it, you get fired. Now, this was done legit back in the day. There were people who legitimately didn't know which briefcase they got and were fired on live TV, legit. I will never understand the logic in it, but hey, as a former Impact official once said, controversy creates cash, and it definitely created a lot of cash for Impact back in the day. That said, I was dreading this from happening because I don't want to see anybody get fired. We had some incredible talent in the match. Now, to grab a briefcase, you have 4 pillars on all 4 corners of the ring. You have to climb up, grab the briefcase, get down back into the ring, and then safely make it on your 2 feet outside the ring. So just grabbing a briefcase doesn't indicate that you will, in fact, have ownership of that briefcase. And we saw some creative ways that these people were able to hold on to their briefcases. The first briefcase winner being the ultimate finesser himself, ABC member, Chris Bay, grabbing the briefcase, jumping down to the ring, and then diving out of the ring onto all of his competition as he safely takes his briefcase into next week. Or maybe not so safely. I will be really pissed if they fire Chris Bay, guys. I mean it. They can't do it. They can't split up the ABC.
I don't think he'll be the fired one, but continue.
I don't think so either, but I'm not happy either way. Our second briefcase winner was newly single Crazy Steve after his bout against his former tag team partner, Black Taurus of the Decay. Steve came down with the briefcase, wailing and bailing on people, and then threatening people with a fork. Guys, I wouldn't want to be stabbed by a fork either. I get it. If you can run away from a crazy person, his name is Crazy Steve, stabbing you with a fork, run away. Maybe he's the guy who gets fired. That's kind of karma right there.
That's what I'm thinking, but we'll talk more. Continue.
I do too, but I don't want him fired. Our third briefcase. Chad, why don't you take it for me? Who gets the third briefcase? Do you remember off the top of your head?
Joe Hendry's partner.
I believe, baby.
I can't think of his name, though.
Yu Yoramura.
Yoramura.
Yes.
Okay, I like that. That's
Japanese talent, great explosive young talent who I expect big things from in the future. As they're setting this talent up, he and his partner Joe Hendry were the only 2 people to get an actual entrance for this match. As Joya, as their tag team is called. I love it. It's
one
silly.
other person, but we'll talk about that.
Oh, a little bit later. But as Joya is clearing the ring and making sure at least one of them gets a briefcase, Yuya goes up, grabs it as Hendry takes some heat from Sami Callihan. As Sami Callihan is in the middle of the ring, literally playing keep away with the briefcase, Yuya throws it to Hendry. Hendry throws it back to Yuya as Sami takes Hendry out, and Yuya is able to get out of the ring and take the briefcase to safety. So that is our third briefcase winner. I'm very interested because now we have a tag team here with a briefcase, but as we're about to get into, not the only one. As we get into the final briefcase situation, we have talent absolutely getting crazy. We have Jonathan Gresham. We have Steve Macklin. We have Jay Vidal. We have PCO. We have Moose. Everybody's going for this briefcase and everybody is getting violent. But the final 2 come down to Steve Macklin and Heath, baby. As they are fighting for the briefcase, Steve Macklin gets the upper hand, takes out Heath, and then as he brings the briefcase down, dives headfirst with the briefcase into Heath's face, his beautiful ginger face. As Macklin is looking for a way out, as the ring is surrounded with talent who are looking to take the briefcase from him, we hear cheers. We hear a stampede as there is a wild rhino coming to the ring. And as we know, rhinos like to do one thing. And what is that thing, Chad?
Gore.
Rhino gores the ever-living hell out of Steve Macklin, and it sends the briefcase flying right into the hands of another wild animal. But instead of a gore, instead of a rhino, we have a wild moose. As Moose grabs the final briefcase and runs up the ramp with his partner, Brian Myers. Now, as I said, we now have 2 tag teams with 2 potential briefcases. I would love it if neither of them gets the tag team title shot just because I love chaos. And if we're going to be honest, Chris Bay is also a tag team guy because he with the ABC with Ace Austin. So lots of potential for some tag team action, lots of potential to split some tag teams up for some solo title shots, and then the ultimate wild card with Crazy Steve. He is crazy. I very much enjoyed this match. It was wild. It was silly. It was unexpected. Was there anybody who wanted to get a briefcase? Anybody you're kind of disappointed got a briefcase?
Yes, very, very upset.
Oh,
so,
boy.
number one, let me preface this with saying that I think this match was amazing. I
Okay.
think this concept is innovative and great as fuck. Last time I was on the Gym Pack Zone, I believe there was another match that I thought was also quite innovative, which makes me think
Yes. I
that
remember it was the 631 match.
yeah, the 631. So
Yeah.
now I'm just thinking, and then the one is that the one Bully Ray won?
Yes, unfortunately. Well, no, that turned out to be good, but yeah, it was Bully Ray who won it.
I wasn't excited about that. However, if you say it worked out, then that's fine. Oh yeah, because Josh kept it for a while anyway. But
I'll put it this way: we hit 1,000 episodes. The company didn't go under, so it wasn't that bad a decision.
Awesome. But needless to say, hot take. I think Impact has the best match quality of all of the shows now. I mean, for real, this is literally innovative as fuck to the point that if WWE did this, it would be a whole pay-per-view premium live event. It would be a whole premium live event of just these matches. This is fucking phenomenal. This is like a pink slip on a pole match. Like this is so super innovative. It brought me back to the Attitude Era, like ASAP, and I was just like, outside thinking. This is why we're at 1,000. I can't wait till we're at 2,000. But
absolutely. I'm gonna bounce off. I'm gonna bounce off of that real quick. I want you to get back to your point, but my dad famously dislikes ladder matches. Papa G, not a fan of ladder matches. He's never really like, he enjoys certain spots, he appreciates certain spots, but he's never crazy about ladder matches. Okay. But he got to see his first Ultimate X match while we were there at Impact 1000, as you guys will see next week, and he loved it. He thought it was so innovative. He thought it was a much better format than the typical ladder match. And I that's just me bouncing off what you said, that Impact has always been very innovative with their match creations. And even if they're just tweaking some rather well-known match types, putting their own spin on it, Impact offers something that you can't get anywhere else, whether that's AEW or WWE or Ring of Honor or New Japan. Impact has its footing and it knows what it's doing.
Yeah, it's Impact is where it's at, really, because again, these are like matches that you have to literally customize and create on games. That's how fucking great they are. And
yeah,
I'm with your dad, the Ultimate X matches are always good. Those are like fire. But just to circle back to the actual match, it was amazing. Like when Chris Bay won, I kind of not figured it, but it made sense. Crazy Steve won, and I was like, oh, okay, he's getting fired. Then
not listening.
Then Yuya, and I was like, this is new guy, so I'm like, he can easily go for the digital media title,
which is a big story in itself, because his former tag team partner, well, his tag team partner Joe Hendry is a former digital media champion, and their partnership sort of started as Hendry's title reign came to an end. So that's a very great point there, Chad. It would be very interesting to see that go.
And then the last one, everyone knows I love Moose.
Oh yeah,
and
baby.
I think in the time where he was champion, he was the best champion in the business at that point.
Bold statement, but that's what we do here at the Mark It Down podcast.
It is what it is. He was going against Big E, who we all know's reign wasn't really good. Roman was very, very dry. It was pre like really deep bloodline, and then can't remember who was in AEW, but
it would have had to have been after Kenny. That would have been Hangman, which kind of levels out, because I love Hangman. We love Hanger here, but he didn't have the best title reign in AEW.
You know what? It was Hangman, and I love Hangman, and I loved his reign. But
damn,
Moose's was better. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, again, I love Big E, but Big E's reign wasn't great. We all know that. But I was really disappointed that he won this because number one, out of all the four, I absolutely cannot see them firing Moose.
Yeah.
Unless he's literally due for like a break storyline wise or something.
Not to suspend disbelief for everybody, not to break reality for everyone, but I'll give you a little bit of some safety tips here. Moose just signed rather recently the biggest and longest contract Impact has ever offered a talent.
Well, he's going for the main.
I don't know. I'm sticking to tag team, but it's very possible.
I think Chris Bay is going tag team, but they were just the tag team champions recently too, weren't they? Chris Bay and Ace Austin.
They lost it to Subculture, who lost it to the Rascals. So they're two reigns removed.
Okay, so without knowing, that's how I saw it. I just Chris Bay tag team. Crazy Steve fired, Yuya mid card, and Moose the final. I say that to say, I mean, I might just be living in a dream here, but I'm to the point that even if it was the fired briefcase, I don't care. How the fuck do you not give PCO the briefcase? I love this guy. Like, I thought it was going to be Macklin, and I would have been mad because I know he just came off his title run and everything. Yep. And then I really thought Heath was going to win, and I was super excited again because I love Heath and I like seeing him in his new space. But then I was like, oh, it's going to be PCO. Can't wait. And it wasn't PCO.
I know.
That doesn't take away from how great the match was, but that was my only letdown because I want PCO to win everything. Again, even if he was fired and sat down for a moment, that's okay. I would have came back when he came back because I fucking love him.
Personally, I think PCO would be perfect as the digital media champion. As somebody who has to have a heavy social media presence, having a Frankenstein's monster carrying a belt and just doing weird shit on social media would probably be the best use of that guy right now. I am never going to root against PCO. You're right about that, Chad. So, yeah, good calls. And you guys heard it here first at the Impact Zone. Everything Chad said is canon. So even if that wasn't the plan, that's what Impact's doing now. You heard it here first. Moving on, we had
before you move on, what about you? Who do you think is?
Oh, I'm honored. Thank you so much. But I can't even give my opinion on it because I already said what you said goes. But if I had to differ in any way, I'd say Moose goes for the tag titles with Myers.
Okay.
I'd say Yuya goes for the digital media championship. That was a great call on your part.
Thank you. I see it. I see the vision.
Steve gets fired.
It is what it is. Sorry, man.
And Bay gets a title shot against, I'm presuming, Alex Shelley for the world title because we've already seen great chemistry between the Motor City Machine Guns and the ABC. And we've already seen a mutual respect between the ABC and the Motor City Machine Guns. But typically when they go against each other, the ABC are the heels and the Motor City Machine Guns are the faces. But it seems lately that Shelley's been, dancing with the dark side a little bit. We'll get into that a little bit later as we see on the show somewhat later on. But yeah, I don't know. I think we're going to get an unsuccessful title shot out of Chris Bay.
I agree. I think whoever goes for the main is going to be unsuccessful.
I think so too. Yeah. Moving on, we have the Desi Hit Squad out. Rohit Raju saying, "How do you have a celebration without some champagne?" Champagne Singh, that is. There is no better tag team in Impact. There's nobody who's done more for tag team wrestling in Impact than the Desi Hit Squad, according to Rohit. And, that's met with a number and a letter. I'm going to give you the number. It was a 3. Can you tell me the letter, Chad? D, baby, as we have, for the first time in 7 years, the reunion of Team 3D in the Impact Zone. First time we're seeing Bully Ray and Devon together in a ring in 7 long years. Now, I was always a Hardy Boy guy. And I was deathly afraid of the Dudleys as a kid because I don't know why, but they gave me a phobia of going through tables. Couldn't imagine why. But I won't lie to you guys. I popped like crazy for this reunion. Bully Ray, who's always been a controversial figure, especially as of late in the Impact Zone, being reunited with his brother, his blood brother Devon. It just felt right. They made quick work of the Desi Hit Squad, ending things with a 3D and the 1, 2, 3, but not. Let's not forget, of course, Chad Do It. What did he do?
He got a table.
He got the tables.
The table.
He got the tables. They put Raju through the table. And I'm going to let you guys in. You missed something. I got to enjoy this being in the crowd there at Impact 1000. There was a beautiful, touching moment as Bully Ray got the entire crowd to welcome back Devon, who had his 2 brothers, his wife, and his young daughter in the front row at the show. We had a loud, Bully said it, they started in ECW. We got some ECW chants. It turned to TNA. We got some TNA chants. But Bully made damn sure we were all chanting Impact in that segment. It was a beautiful moment. I'm very disappointed you guys didn't get to see it on TV. Hopefully you're going to be able to see it in some sort of behind the scenes feature that Impact might do. But a touching moment. And whether or not this is the last time we've seen Team 3D. I'm all flustered because I'm so emotional, guys. Whether or not this is the last time we saw Team 3D interacting in a ring, I'm just happy we got it one last time. Now, Chad, what did you think about it? Tell me you had some thoughts. Tell me you had some emotion.
Absolutely. You would have hated me in my youth. I was an Edge and Christian guy.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
No, I think like my cousins were Hardy Boys and my friends were Dudley Boys, and I was literally the only Edge and Christian stan. From the Brood, I've just been them. That they're my favorite tag team. But the only thing that could have, and I mean literally could have, I'm nitpicking at this point. The only thing that could have made this perfect was a Spike cameo. This was fucking awesome, man. That
would have been great.
This is all like I haven't seen the Dudley Boys in forever. Everyone knows me and Bully Ray don't see eye to eye on almost anything. It makes me sick, but it is what it is. It's a nostalgia pop is always going to get me, especially if it's from the Attitude Era or anything of that sort. Anything ECW makes me pop, except for maybe Tommy Dreamer. Kind of. We'll talk about it later. I love
Papa G here. Don't let Papa G hear you.
I do love Tommy Dreamer, though. I do. But no, this was great. I don't know who the other tag team was. They did their job of making me hate them in literally 5 seconds. And
you used an interesting word there, job. That's how you associate them. Yeah.
Well, yeah, they did their job. And it was good. It was good. It was refreshing. It was nice to see Devon can still go. I don't know what he's doing next or what he plans on doing, but he can get back in the ring and go for a little bit, even if it's a part-time situation.
He revealed because we knew he was dealing with a medical ailment when he left WWE, but he had both back surgery and a stroke.
Really? Okay, so I had no clue.
I thought he had a heart attack, but I mean, not just a heart attack, but a stroke and back surgery. And the man, I mean, look, Devon's gotten a little bit bigger over the years. Please don't kick my ass, Devon, if you see this. But you can still go, buddy. You did not miss a step tonight. So, along with the rest of the Impact Zone, I think we should both give Devon a welcome back. Welcome back. And my favorite, you still got it.
Yeah, absolutely.
You still got it.
Yeah.
But yeah, happy moment, happy celebration of Impact's past, as we had a tremendous team who helped carry Impact through some long times, have a nice moment in the sun, if possibly one last time. Moving on, I'm not even sure what we had next, but oh, and yeah, in case we didn't, oh no, I did say he put backstage segment as the Rascals, those whippersnappers, the Rascals, just sitting in the locker room in the hallway. They're eating pizza, making a mess, being hoodlums, being hooligans, and Josh Alexander, being the upstanding gentleman that he is, has a problem with this. This is his locker room. He's not going to let stuff like this happen. After he politely asks them to pick it up and they don't, they give him shit. He takes their book bag, chucks it across the hallway, and they got into a little bit of a tiff. No punches are thrown yet, but the old man was saying get off the lawn, and they did. We then got Josh Alexander in the ring as he's confronted by Alex Shelley. But before so, he talks about being an Impact fan. He was a fan. At 15 years old, Josh Alexander loved Impact Wrestling. It was one of the reasons he wanted to be a wrestler. And now here we are in the 1000th episode of Impact, and he's all grown up, and he wants to be the Impact World Champion once again. He wants the championship he never lost in the first place. Now, this is what brings out the champion. This is what brings out Alex Shelley. He doesn't like it. He doesn't like what he said. He said the title isn't his anymore. If anyone's going to be the face of the company, it's going to be him. It's going to be Alex Shelley, just like he was the face of a generation. As you know, both men, they're macho. They're macho men. One's a former champion, one's the current champion. They're not necessarily seeing eye to eye, but Josh does say he is a huge Alex Shelley fan. He was, at least. But these interactions that he's been having with Shelley has sort of taught him something. He taught him a lesson. Sometimes it's not the best thing to meet your heroes. He reminds Shelley that, yes, he might be the Impact World Champion right now. And every Impact World Championship match he's had, he's won, whether it was winning the title or defending it. But the only World Championship match that he lost was when he was challenging Josh Alexander for that championship. That's a great callback to their history. I'm very much looking forward to seeing how that plays into their psychology moving forward into their one-on-one match that they both say they want and they both decide they're going to have. But as they're setting the details up, getting their people to interact, putting it in their calendars, putting it in their Blackberries. Do people still have Blackberries, Chad?
I would hope the fuck not. But
I'll put it in my day planner. But as they're getting all the details set, they are jumped. I say, how dare they? They are jumped by the Rascals, just absolutely beating them down. But that them turns into him as Alex Shelley leaves the ring, leaving Josh Alexander to get beat down by the Rascals in a 2-on-1 situation as Shelley watches up the ramp. As somebody who's watching Ahsoka right now, seeing these guys fall to the dark side is really hurting. But I really enjoyed this segment. I am enjoying this dynamic between this world champion, somebody we've always wanted to be world champion, Alex Shelley, possibly falling to the dark side and not necessarily wanting to play fair in keeping that championship from somebody he knows is a threat in Josh Alexander. Great segment as far as I'm concerned. What did you think, Chad?
Absolutely phenomenal segment. Not great. You got to go a step beyond. This shit, for me, hit. This was the best part of the night. I hate when I do this because it's just, I guess, old school wrestler brain. But immediately after the promo, I thought, why the fuck are these guys not in WWE? But then I had to bring it down and I had to say they're great and let them be great where they are, because it is what it is. I don't want to disregard anything going on with Impact. Impact is great in its own and just leave it at that. I have to turn that knob off sometimes and stop saying, hey, you don't need them in other promotions. They're doing great. These guys are like, I've always been a fan of Josh, but I think his staying power shows a lot. Like the fact that he was the champion for like a year and some change, then he lost it and got it back, and he's back in the limelight in the championship picture, and I don't mind. That says a lot. Even if I don't watch it as often as you do. Like, it's fine that I see him in the main event picture all the time,
Yep.
and he works his shit. Like, he really works it. Shelley, as he said, if you're not a fan of Alex Shelley, you're not a fan of wrestling. He's been great since '08 and beyond. He's somebody I've been hearing about when I only watch WWE. So that alone speaks volumes to how great and good of a wrestler he's been for years. So again, this was much needed. He needed this belt years back. I'm glad he's healthy enough to have it now, and this reign needs to be a long one and a great one. I heard Josh say he's defended it a million times already. So I'm like, oh yeah, he's a fighting champion.
Oh
He's
yeah.
great. Like, I loved everything about this. Like, this melting pot that Impact has with these great characters that nobody is seeing almost pisses me off. Like, it really pisses me off because it's like these best kept secrets. Shout out to Buddy. These best kept secrets are like thriving, and it's like, again, I say it all the time, but watching Impact is really refreshing. It makes you feel really good as a fan because there's just so much wrestling to be involved in. And WWE is always going to be a heavy hitter. AEW has made itself so prominent that it's a heavy hitter, and Impact, like you always say, is just a little show that could, and it does every week. I love that. I'm enamored by that little hint of Disney magic that it just plugging, and it's good. Like, I really love that. It makes me feel a part of something. It makes me love wrestling. I'm so glad.
That was beautiful, Chad, and I completely agree with you.
Thank you.
Pride ourselves here at the Market Down Podcast. We're not WWE fans. We're not AEW fans. We're not New Japan fans. We're not Impact fans. We're wrestling fans. We love professional wrestling. It doesn't matter what company it is. We are just happy that basically at this point, Monday through Saturday, we have professional wrestling on every day of the week.
Period.
Is it exhausting? Absolutely. That's why there's so many of us here at the Market Down Podcast. We can't all do it on our own, but we love each other and we're a hell of a tag team and on our own route. But I completely agree with what you said. Impact offers so much that you can't really get from the other companies. Or even if you can get it, they're offering talent that, man, they help define what Impact is. Whether it's a Josh Alexander or a Motor City Machine Guns or a Deonna Purrazzo or an Awesome Kong or a Jordan Grace. There is just so much talent that, yeah, we could fantasy book. What would Jordan Grace be doing in AEW? What would Deonna Purrazzo be doing on the main roster in WWE? I would love to see Josh Alexander versus Kenny Omega. I would love to see the Motor City Machine Guns versus the Usos if they ever get back together. But let those matches happen in Impact. That's what I'll say.
Yeah.
Or you know what? Maybe one day we'll get the true Forbidden Door and all of them will get to interact the way they should.
Maybe.
Time will tell. Crazier things have happened. But moving on, we go backstage. Shark Boy, assistant to the district manager of conventions and other things. I messed it up. I don't care. Shark Boy tells Trey Miguel that next week, for what he did, he's going to go one-on-one with Josh Alexander. Santino calls him a natural, but they get interrupted by Kenny King, who demands a title rematch against Tommy Dreamer. But Santino says that can't be done. But he knows someone who can face next week, and that's Eric Young. So that's going to be a fun Impact match next week. Eric Young versus Kenny King. I saw it. It was nice. We then get into our next match of the night, as we have, it's a love affair in the Impact Zone. Eddie Edwards and his wife, Alicia, taking on Frankie Kazarian, and they're returning the original knockout, Tracy Brooks. Haven't seen Tracy Brooks wrestle in Impact in years. I think our last match was 2008.
Damn.
Yep. This was a nice little match. You know, there's a lot of history between at least 3 of the 4 people in this match. I love you, Lish. You're great at getting heat, but you don't really have as much history as the other 3. As Kazarian and Tracy get some revenge after losing the Killer Kowalski match a month or so back. This was a nice match. It was good to see Tracy Brooks back in a ring. It was nice to see her have her moment. And that moment continued after the match as Kazarian revealed that his wife, the original Knockout, will be inducted into the Impact Hall of Fame. This was a beautiful moment as Tracy legitimately looked surprised and touched as she was brought to tears by this announcement. I love this. Their son got to join them in the ring. And there were some fun spots, especially as the New York crowd did not take kindly at all to Eddie Edwards and Alicia Edwards, who are from Boston. Whatever. Yep. What did you think of it? I know it wasn't maybe the most technical of matches, but it was fun.
Yeah. Now that you gave me the history lesson, thanks.
I do what I can.
That made the match better because at first I was just like, yeah, I don't know if I need it. I always want to see Kazarian, like always, just put him on my TV anytime. And I'm not as familiar with Tracy until now, when you told me that she's a fucking legend. So shout out to her. Kudos. I like Eddie Edwards. I don't know Alicia at all. I don't think I've ever even seen her like in a portrait. Never even seen the picture of her. So I kind of was taken aback. I was just like, whatever, intergender match. I also have to I have to remember that other companies can do what
men versus women.
Yeah, because
it's a little jarring.
I said, "Whoa!" I forgot for a minute. Thought about Stone Cold and Lita and shit for a minute. I was like, "Oh, damn!"
Deep cut there.
After I got over that, I see the innovation with Impact. It's just always amazing. But after that, I kind of was like, "Okay." And now what you're saying, that was a nice little moment for Tracy. Shout out to her. I'm glad she's getting her flowers, being the original Knockout and all. Again, anything that has to do with Kazarian is going to be fun in some aspect to me. So I didn't mind it.
Yeah, no, it was good stuff, and it got the story going. So hopefully, I doubt it, but hopefully this is the end of Eddie and Kazarian, as both men could go on to do other things, but time will tell. Moving on, we have our main event. Wow, we're already there. But before we get there, we had a backstage interview as Chris Sabin, the challenger for the X Division Championship, is interviewed by Gia Miller. In fact, both men were. I don't know why I didn't. I guess my notes are a little out of place right now. But both Sabin and Lio Rush, the X Division champion, were interviewed by Gia Miller, the hardest working woman in Impact, as far as I'm concerned. And Chris talks about his loss to Lio. Now, Chad, I don't know if you're familiar with what happened, but 2 pay-per-views ago, Sabin defended the X Division Championship against Lio Rush, but Lio jumped him before the match could get started, repeatedly hitting him with tope suicidas, getting him in the ring, swift kick to the head, and then a frog splash before the match even started. And then Sabin, being the fighting champion that he was, kept the match kept the energy going for the match, but it didn't take long for Rush to put him down and become an X Division champion in his own right. This is the rematch. This was the actual match that we got tonight, and Sabin talked about it. He has a lot of respect for Lio Rush. He just doesn't respect Rush's tactics, jumping people, sideswiping people, attacking them when they're not looking, and words of a champion as far as I'm concerned. But as Lio Rush rebutted, you know what? Sabin might be just a little shook as Lio Rush is the champion now, and he is not backing down. These were nice segments from both men, and I just got to say it. Lio Rush is such a great talent that sometimes we forget that he's great on the mic too. Joking or not, he did a great job of getting Lashley over in WWE when he was still reestablishing himself. And he's a great mouthpiece all on his own for himself. So it's great to be reminded of that and not just see him be spectacular in the ring. And Sabin being a veteran in his own right, somebody that's always reliable, both in the ring and on the mic. Nothing shocking there. Did you like the promos?
Absolutely. This was another promo and match where I went back to WWE brain and I said, how the fuck? It's certain talent that I don't know how you can like let go without,
I hear you.
Like major discrepancies or something like, or situations like we know that you got to let certain people go and cuts or whatever. But again, Saban has been amazing for how long? Ever.
Yep.
Period.
Oh yeah.
Lio Rush is that refreshing person that, again, with you, unbeknownst to me, like he's great every time I see him. And I always
True.
forget. I don't know why, because I see him, sparingly, and every time I see him, he's firing on all cylinders. Like you said, he's great on the mic. He's great in the ring. He has a great look. He has great finisher moves. He has title appeal. Like there's nothing stopping this guy. And I'm with you. He absolutely made Bobby Lashley look a million times better, especially with a minor title that no one was looking at for at least 6 months until Bobby got it.
It's true.
And then when Bobby got it, it was like, holy fuck, he has a title, a mouthpiece. He's heat now. So with that being said, yeah, I love the promo. The match was fire.
Talk about it. Tell me what you liked about it.
I knew the match was going to be fire. I mean, I don't even know if I can pinpoint certain points because everything happened so fast when it comes to Lio Rush.
It was a fast-paced match.
Yeah.
It was definitely a very fast-paced match.
Like Saban keeping up with him just attests that he's been great forever and he's one of the biggest fish in the pond. But like I think as fast-paced as the match was, it still told the story slowly. Like it was delightful to see, like you said, hey man, I respect you, but you're a fucking cheater. I want my shit back. and what did he do? He got his shit back. And I popped. I was like, oh, I don't know what the fuck is going on, but I'm here for it. I loved it. It was great. Then everybody come in at the end. This was good. This was a great main event. It showed that both of these people need to be in main event matches, regardless of the title, which I also love that we get main event X division matches.
Love it.
As opposed to just, title promos and matches and before it goes off. So yeah, this was really good for me. This was one of the highest points besides that Feast or Fire match that I've never seen until today.
I completely agree with you. They definitely ended on a high note for Impact 1000 Part 1. Saban is now a 10-time X Division champion, record holder for the championship. Great moment to see, great moment to be a part of as someone who was there. And the match itself, like you said, it was fire. It was fast-paced. It's hard to recount everything that happened just because both men never stopped moving. The only time I think they actually stopped moving was when they were locked in submission holds. And that just shows how well-rounded this match was. As high-flying as it was, they did get down to basics, and they did the technical stuff too. Great stuff from both men. I think as young as Lio Rush is, he's a grizzled young veteran in his own right. Yeah. Yes, I stole the name from another act, but it's true.
It's fine. They're not that now.
Didn't they just leave too? NXT?
They were thinking about it, but
I think it officially happened. I think they're officially released. Yeah. They were the dyad, right?
Yeah.
Yep, they're gone.
Oh, I thought I just saw them Tuesday. No?
Officially, I think as of today, maybe, or yesterday, they are done.
Okay. I saw that coming, but whatever. Yeah. That's another show for another time.
Other thing anyway. But yeah, great match. Emotional moment, especially you didn't get to see it on TV. Again, behind the scenes, peeling the curtain back, but there was a lovely moment as Shelley, Kushida, and Saban all fist bumped in the ring, celebrating their friendship, celebrating their team, and celebrating all of their success. So very excited to see that both halves of the Motor City Machine Guns are champions right now between the X Division Championship and the World Championship. Good moment, good feel-good moment, and a great way to have us primed for next week, as we will have a new #1 contender for the X Division Championship, as they have set up the Ultimate X match. There's some great talent in that match. I could tell you firsthand, there were some crazy feats of athleticism, so please stay tuned for next week. That's going to be a lot of fun and just an overall great night tonight. The main event was good. Feast or Fired was good. Lots of little emotional callbacks, seeing some wonderful talent getting a moment in the spotlight again, and very rewarding for longtime Impact fans. But I will agree with you a little bit, Chad. These anniversary episodes are hard to do. I definitely felt like a little more could have been done, but I understand when you're in these situations, when you're celebrating milestone episodes, you have to do a little bit of a juggling act. You have to juggle the fact that you have to celebrate the past. You have to tout the future. Yes, we still tout here at the Mark It Down podcast. Follow us on tout. Brian Danielson's there. I'm sure of it. But you have to tout the future. You have to honor the present. There's a lot of plates that are spinning at once, and it's a difficult act. But I feel Impact did the best they could, especially considering this was turned into a 2-night event. They even went so far as to add a 15-minute time to this. This went 15 minutes over, give or take. So I'm really appreciative that Impact was allowed the time to go over and was allowed the time to really highlight everything that they got to. I believe you said that your highlight was the X Division match.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. No, I'd agree. I think that was the highlight. Feast or Fired was a lot of fun as well, as far as I'm concerned. And of course, seeing Team 3D back in the Impact Zone, beautiful feeling.
For sure. But
guys, that was Impact. That was Impact 1000 Part 1. Thank you guys so much for joining Chad and I. Chad, thank you for joining me, brother. Absolutely. I can always rely on you, and I appreciate it so much. Tell us, guys, what did you think of the show? If you didn't see it, go check it out. It's very easy to watch Impact. You could watch it on YouTube. You could watch it on Access TV. They're everywhere. Go give Impact a watch. If you liked us, we appreciate it. We love you. We really do. We have some very exciting stuff coming down the pipeline very soon. We can't talk about too much of it, but I promise things are going to really pick up here at the podcast. If you don't follow us on social media, what are you doing? Go do it. Danny has been killing it. I've been doing pretty okay too. I'm apparently hip with the kids today. Yeah, I know what pops. Mm-hmm. I know what's, as they say, crack-a-lackin'. But see, Chad, he can't even contain how crack-a-lackin' I am. Oh my God. But go follow us on Instagram. Go follow us on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. Fuck Elon Musk. Go follow us on Facebook. Go follow us TikTok. We tick the talk. Go check us out there. And if you can think of anywhere else you want to see us, we're on Reddit tonight. I really want to thank the Impact subreddit for graciously allowing us to join you guys tonight. We're hoping to be a bigger fixture on the subreddit. But yeah, guys, this is the Mark It Down podcast. This is the Impact Zone. Before I take us home, Chad, what do you got to say?
Mark it down.
Mark it down, baby. Big Bad Chad, your guy, James. I don't have a nickname yet. We'll come up with something, but we love you. And please mark it down. I don't have a good ending yet, but here we go.